You're not broke because you don't make enough money. You're broke because of habits you don't even notice. And the worst part? You're probably doing them every single day. 1. Delaying financial awareness. Most people don't have a money problem, they have an avoidance problem. They don't check their accounts, they don't calculate their expenses, they don't want to face the numbers. Because looking at your financial reality feels uncomfortable. It exposes mistakes, it forces responsibility. So instead, they delay. I'll organize my finances later. I'll start next month. But that later quietly becomes years. And here's the truth. Money doesn't destroy you suddenly. It slowly leaks out while you're not paying attention. The moment you start tracking, you realize you were losing control the whole time.
2. Confusing movement with progress. You download apps, you watch financial videos, you save small amounts. It feels like you're doing something right, but deep down, nothing is actually changing, because activity creates the illusion of progress. But progress only happens when there's direction. You can spend years learning about money without ever building wealth. And the dangerous part is you feel productive while staying in the same place. Being busy is easy. Being intentional is rare. 3. Prioritizing comfort over opportunity. Every day, you're making small decisions that feel harmless. Scrolling instead of learning, spending instead of investing, choosing what feels good now over what builds your future. Comfort is addictive. It gives instant relief. But wealth doesn't grow in comfort. It grows when you do things that feel inconvenient, when you sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term freedom. The problem is, most people never notice how often they choose the easy path, and those small choices quietly shape their entire financial future. 4. Avoiding risk completely. You tell yourself you're being careful. You don't invest, you don't try new opportunities, you stay safe. But what feels safe is actually keeping you stuck. Because in your 20s, your greatest advantage is time, and time rewards risk, not hesitation. The biggest risk isn't losing money, it's spending years without growth. Playing safe might protect what you have, but it also limits what you could become. 5. Thinking saving alone builds wealth. Saving money feels responsible. It feels like progress. But saving alone doesn't create wealth. If your money is just sitting, inflation is slowly eating it. You're protecting your money, but you're not growing it. Wealth is built when money starts working for you, when it moves, compounds, multiplies. Saving is the first step, but staying there is where most people get stuck forever. 6. Ignoring skill investment. Most people focus on cutting expenses, but they ignore the most powerful strategy, increasing income. Your biggest asset isn't your savings, it's your ability to earn more. Skills create leverage. They open doors. They multiply your opportunities. Someone who invests in skills can recover from mistakes quickly, but someone who only saves is limited by what they already have. In your 20s, investing in yourself is the highest return you'll ever get.
7. Living to impress others. A lot of financial decisions aren't logical, they're emotional. Buying things to look successful, spending to feel accepted, trying to match a lifestyle you can't sustain. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people you're trying to impress are also struggling financially. It's a silent competition where everyone is losing. Wealth isn't built by looking rich, it's built by thinking differently. The moment you stop performing for others, you start building for yourself.
8. Overthinking every decision. You want to be smart. You want to avoid mistakes, so you analyze everything. You wait for the perfect timing. You hesitate. But while you're thinking, opportunities are passing. Overthinking feels like control, but in reality, It's fear disguised as logic. Wealth is built by imperfect action, not perfect planning. The people who grow are the ones who move first and adjust later. 9. Avoiding long-term thinking. Most people live financially from week to week. Short-term decisions, short-term thinking, short-term goals. But wealth doesn't respond to short-term behavior. It responds to consistency over time. Small investments, small habits, small improvements. They feel insignificant today, but over years they become life-changing. The problem is, people underestimate what time can do and overestimate what they can do instantly.
Not realizing time is your advantage. When you're in your 20s, time feels infinite. So you delay, you postpone, you assume you'll figure it out later. But time only works for you if you use it early. The difference between starting now and starting later isn't small, it's massive, because wealth is built on compounding, and compounding needs time to grow. The earlier you start, the less effort you need later. But most people realize this too late.
Wealth isn't built when you make more money. It's built when your habits change. Because your habits are what you repeat every day. And what you repeat becomes your life. Right now, you're either building wealth or slowly destroying it. So the real question is, which habits are you feeding today? The ones that keep you stuck or the ones that make you free?